Hoff, and today we're going to talk about blending oil pastels. Okay, so there are lots of different kinds of oil pastels that we have here in our classroom, or if you're shopping at the store or at home. We just sometimes keep them in a bucket like this. You might have neon ones if we're doing a neon project. We could have big, thick, fat ones if you're trying to color in a big area. Or maybe you're lucky and we get a brand new set like this. Whichever kind we have, they all work the same. So no matter which kind of set you get, they're all going to be good sets. So today I'm just going to use the simple bowl. I don't need anything fancy. And we're going to learn some different ways of blending oil pastel. So an oil pastel is a lot like a crayon, except that it is creamier. I think of it more like a paint stick. And what's cool about oil pastels is that if you color just normally and lightly with them, they look sort of like a crayon. But if you press down hard, they're super creamy and they look like paint. So they're sort of like a paint stick. And if I run out here, I can peel off a little bit of the paper. I don't want to take off all the paper because it keeps my fingers from getting dirty, because since they're so creamy, they're also very smeary. This little bit of paper, I need to make sure it goes in the garbage. So I'm going to put that to the side of my table and I'll put it in the garbage later. So when I'm coloring these, if I color lightly, it doesn't seem very exciting. But if I press down hard, again, I get this nice creamy color. So if I want to blend oil pastels, there's a couple cool things I can do. I can take another color like this, like blue, and I can layer it over the top. So one option is to layer it over the top, and I could use my finger to blend it. Now, blending with your finger is a little tricky and a little messy. So the way I really like to blend is to take my first color and color it in so that there's a little bit of white spaces, and then I take my second color and I leave a little bit of white spaces. Then I'm going to color over the top of that one, part way, and I'm going to cover over the top of that one, part way, and I'm going to go back and forth between the two, pressing a little bit harder each time, and that will start to blend those two together. I also don't have to just keep going in that same direction. I can swirl around in circles. It especially works well when you use your lighter color to start blending those together. So I can go in little circles. So that's one way of blending colors. We can just do it with our fingers. We can circle around with it by starting light and then going darker. Or another option is to start with one color and press down really hard. Go with your next color, press down really hard, and then take your darker one over your lighter one, and your lighter one over your darker one, and start to blend that way. And I can also use, I'm going to use that same finger since it's already dirty. And I can blend those together that way. You can also make a color lighter by adding white. When you want a color to be light, you just add white. So I can blend those colors together using my white. It's like a blending stick. And that helps mush those two colors together more. So these are just a few different ways that you can blend your oil pastels. You can try adding other colors to the mix and see what happens when you start to add other colors. Today we're going to experiment, try out our oil pastels, and see how they work for you.